What's up, High Vibe Soul Tribe? My name is Anna. I'm the founder of Empath in the Office, where we help people reconnect with their souls and find a life that they were meant to live, a life in joy, authenticity, and wholeness. So today I want to talk about an important topic that would elevate managers all over the world if they knew this one little secret. And it's a secret I learned along my journey of management and managing people and being managed by people that I want to share that would definitely help anyone who is a manager right now to have an amazing team, an engaged team. And that is feedback and how to address someone who doesn't seem to be getting something that you've taught. So many managers believe that if they say something, you're supposed to understand it and do it from now on, right? Have you ever had a manager that told you something or told you how to do something, and if you didn't do it correctly that second time, they would get so upset with you? Or maybe they would allow you to make that mistake once or twice, but then how they treated you if you made that mistake was just soul crushing. Have you ever felt your soul crushed by the way you believed a manager disrespected you just because you didn't know how to do something? I think we've all had that experience. I had that experience one time, and I've never looked at a manager the same after they treated me like that. I have an MBA from a top level school. I have a master's in finance. I don't consider myself a stupid person, but they told me how to do something, and apparently I didn't understand and didn't do it correctly. Then they totally, yelled at me. Full stop. It was just a horrible experience, degradation. And I just thought, okay, I'm a smart person. I try my best. Not just managers, even people that you might be in a relationship with. I actually also had a boyfriend. If I didn't do something exactly the way he wanted it, he would get super mad. It turns out it might be a human quality of people who aren't very sensitive or aren't very empathetic or even aren't very emotionally aware that they treat people like that. And the truth is, there is no reason to treat anyone with disrespect, especially if they're trying their best and their hardest to do something correctly. So something I learned from one of my favorite managers that I've ever had, and that I do as a manager and I teach people all the time, is when somebody has made a mistake, do not call attention to it. Just calmly guide them to how to do it correctly. It could be that you've told them 10 times before. It's okay. Treat it like the first time. Because if my manager hadn't treated me that way, I never would have realized that this is appropriate and possible for someone to treat another human being that way. And consequently, I had such high regard for this manager. I was not afraid of this manager, and I trusted him. Because the problem is, and this is why this affects people so much, when a manager totally rips into somebody who doesn't do things exactly right, or maybe they sent it in a previous email and they thought it was clear. And this is the reason why it affects people so negatively. Because when you hurt somebody and give negative feedback in a way that's emotionally jarring, people will remember how you made them feel. And that feeling gets trapped in their nervous system, in their limbic system. That's the oldest part of, the human brain anatomy. So there's the reptilian brain, and that is the brain that's the oldest part, centered on fear response, fight or flight. And then there's the reptilian, the limbic system that focuses on the emotional response to things, romance, attraction, fear, bad emotional responses, a little bit higher than fear, but it holds the emotion in it. That's why propaganda on the news also really gets into you, because it targets that emotional brain. If they're able to make you scared, if they're able to make you feel bad or a certain way, then they hook you into that story. So when a manager makes you feel bad, you are hooked into that story. You no longer trust them. And that's detrimental to not only your relationship, but your performance with that manager in the company. And it affects you as a manager, because you're not getting the best out of your people if you treat them this way. So something I learned along my journey that I believe it would truly help everyone out there who is a manager or is managed by someone, is when an employee or someone who works with you in the team makes a mistake, simply call attention to that mistake. Do not make them feel bad for making the mistake. That is the key. Do not make them feel bad for making the mistake. Because the issue is, the mistake is the issue, not the person. You're not making the person wrong for making the mistake. You are just simply correcting the mistake. And for extra bonus points, start off with something you appreciate about the person. Like, I really appreciate how hard you are working on this project. And here's the right process to go through for the next step, for instance. Or here's how to do this in this system. You might have explained it to this person a dozen times, and they will always say, oh, I made a note of it. But just expect them to come back and make that same mistake sometimes. Sometimes that's what happens. They could be terribly smart, but just everybody is trying their best at the things that they are doing. If they're not, then they're not motivated and they're probably looking for something else. And that's a different story. But when you're managing somebody, do not make them feel bad for making a mistake. That is the most detrimental thing you can ever do as a manager. And I hope that through this story, through this understanding, you'll be able to connect better with the people that are on your team. Or also, if you can, provide feedback to your manager on how to treat you. So I really hope that you're trying your best and that you're living your best life, because that's all you can really do. Keep going, keep being wonderful, keep shining, and keep staying connected to your soul. So for more information, I do offer private coaching sessions. You can go to the website empathintheoffice.com for more details, or simply join our community. Watch our videos and see what you'd like to know. Let us know what you would like to know more about to live your best life in the workplace authentically. So with that, I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week.